I'm Carrie Beach.
And I'm Allison Crones, and welcome to Nerdapalooza 2011. We are the co-advisors for the Science Honor Society here at Nashua North, and what we've got here is an exposition of science that our students have developed all of these booths. We have activities in all of the science areas and engineering that were designed in order to help share our excitement and enthusiasm with science with all of the kids and their families in Nashua, and hopefully get some people really excited about some scientific things and just kind of open their eyes to see what is out there and things that they can do in the sciences. So thank you for coming today or visiting, and we hope to see you next year.
Hi, I'm Melissa Wallen. I'm a senior here at North, and we're part of the Science National Honor Society.
I'm Nick Kwan. I'm a senior here at North.
I'm Evan Gaudet. I'm also a senior here at North.
We're running the science fair, the first annual Nerdapalooza, hopefully, to try to boost science interest in the elementary school kids and to hopefully start a mentoring program for the elementary school kids.
Here today you can see a bunch of great booths. We have heart and kidney dissection, there's moon craters, there's things with bones and robots. There's a lot of cool stuff to see.
Out front we have Passports to Discovery, which is a little passport, and each station that you go to will give you a stamp, and if you fill up your passport you can go and get a fun prize.
We're running the science fair based on we took a trip to Washington to see the National Science and Engineering Festival back in October, and we really got a lot of insight for the scientific booths and all the different ideas that we came together today to do.
I'm Samantha Lamb, and I'm a junior here at Nashua North. And what we're doing is we put all the bones in the pool right here, and we have the kids search for them, and then they put them on the table, and they try to put the skeleton together as best they can. And we have this other skeleton that's already put together here so they can use it as a reference. Okay, so try to find all the bones you can. And you guys have 5 minutes to complete it, so try to do it fast.
Get over here. Good stuff. Good job.
Yeah, good job. When you think you have all the bones, you can start building the skeleton, okay? So start with the skull. And what comes after the skull? Look at the skeleton right here. Look at all the bones you have. Yep. Good job. Okay. Okay, and then what comes after the sternum? Look at all the bones you have. You found another one? Good job. Yep. Good job. Perfect. Okay, and then you want to try to put the legs together. So come over here and look at the legs and see what bones you have. So do you have a bone that looks like this over there?
Up.
You want to do it? Come help.
Oh, we're starting outside?
Yep. Here, why don't we look? Come here. Where do you think this bone goes? Is this an arm bone? Does that match? No? Does it match the leg? Is that, yep. Okay, so that's a leg bone, so that goes right there.
Hello, my name is Stacia Lewandowski. I am from Nashua High School North. I am a graduating senior. Here we are at the anatomy table, and we're dissecting pig heart and pig kidneys. One heart has already been cut open. You can see the younger students really seem to enjoy this, even though it's kind of gross. This is Chanel Savoy, and on the other side is Melissa Wallen, and they are the designated dissectors because I am doing the stamping. The younger students are putting their fingers in the heart to kind of figure out and see what's going on. And Chanel here has taken Anatomy 1 and 2, so she knows all about the heart. And she actually did a presentation on it in AP Biology. And Melissa, on the far left, is going to school to be a dietitian. And Chanel and I are both going to be pre-med students.
This is actually the other side of the heart. It's that like this.
Okay, my name is Megan Roscoe. I'm a junior, and this is the Pop Into Science booth. And what we're doing is we have vinegar and baking soda and Pop Rocks. And what happens is when the vinegar and the baking soda are put together, the water makes the pop rocks pop, and the CO2 and sodium acetate make the bubbles and causes a little volcano explosion.
Hi, my name is Jessica Root. I'm a senior at Nashua High School North, and we're here at the Bubble Booth. So at the Bubble Booth, we're talking to kids about the differences and similarities between bubbles and human cells. And they're both bilayers, and they have substances that'll pass through them and substances that won't. So if you're going to blow a bubble, for a bubble bilayer, a substance that won't pass through a bubble bilayer is something that's dry, and it will pop it. And then if you want to have a substance that's a like substance that will go through the bubble, your hand needs to be wet. And that reacts like your cell membrane would. Your cell will allow things that are non-ionic and things like that. Some ions and like oxygen and water can diffuse through a cell membrane, while things like lipids can't. So that is how our cells are like bubbles.
All right, my name's Nick Kwan, and I'm a senior. And right here we have the crater booth right here. This is actually a replica of the moon, and all of these balls are meteorites. So what happens is you pick up a meteorite and you try to throw it at the moon to see how big of a crater it makes. So based on the size and the velocity and the angle, it'll make a different size crater, and that's why we have all these different craters on the moon and on the Earth, like that.
So right now we have kids and they're painting with maggots. So we drop dots of paint onto the paper, and then we put worms and mealworms and different earthworms, and then they just kind of crawl through the paint and make tracks. And then they make a pretty picture that you can take home and be proud of for the rest of your life. And then this is kind of like an introduction of just entomology and bugs to children. And this is kind of like to inspire science and creativity at the same time. Show what worms can do. Yeah, we're gonna put a worm on now. Oh, look at him. So the worm is not hurt by this. It just kind of doesn't really enjoy being put to work by doing this. But they're okay. They're pretty hardy. Sometimes when they really get going, they don't want to be here. They're like, freedom! Oh, you. This is some of the artwork that's been done by the worms. Like, here are the wheelworm tracks, and here are the earthworm tracks, and here's some more worm tracks. And, yeah.
Hi, my name is Ariel, and I go here in Nashua North, and we are making DNA bracelets at Nerdapalooza. So what you do is you match up your name right here. And so if I was making one with my name, I would take the A, and then the DNA triplet for that is ATT, and that represents a amino acid protein, which altogether, when they're combined, makes your hair blonde or your eyes brown. So that's what these boys are doing right here. So this is Bryce, and he wants to show you his bracelet.
Oh, I'm not done yet. Hi.
And this is Paul.
Oh, I'm Deepak Ravi from the Nashua 151 Nashua Tough Techs team. And this is First Robotics. This is our 2008 robot from the game Lunacy. What it does, it picks up the ball off the ground and then puts it up in its reservoir, and then it dumps the balls out into another basket. Right now we'll see it in action.
Pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Gautam Babu, and I'm a junior at Nashua High School North, and we're doing catapults for the Nerdapalooza Nerdapalooza exhibit. And catapults were basically invented to hurl projectiles over large distances. Catapults were first invented around 300 BC by the Romans and Greeks. Catapults were primarily used as weapons, and during the Middle Ages they were used to assault castles. There were actually many different types of catapults. There were trebuchets, ballistas, crossbows, normal catapults, and even more other types of catapults. The catapult went into decline after the Middle Ages because of the invention of cannons and gunpowder, so that made them obsolete since cannons could do much more damage. We made model catapults out of 2 paint stirring sticks and a cup and a dowel and duct tape, and the kids are trying to get the ping pong balls into the castle, which simulates medieval siege when catapults and trebuchets launch projectiles at the castle.
All right, I'm Colin Skavikas. This is Manoj Mandava. What we have here is a model maglev train, which is the model of a real-life train which will float above the track based off the opposite magnetic fields generated by the magnets. In this case, we just have basic bar magnets, but the actual trains that use this system will work off electromagnets. And as we see here, the train will just float along the repelling forces, and it's pretty recent technology, and it's very efficient. It doesn't require much maintenance because it doesn't actually contact the track, so there's not a lot of moving parts. And the bullet trains, which they have over in Japan and China, they have approximately 140 kilometers of this track already laid down. The trains travel in excess of 300 miles an hour, so also make them pretty efficient. And even the monorails at Disney World are run off the same principle. They'll float right along the tracks.
Hi, I'm Ivana. I'm a junior at Nashua High North.
I'm Deepak. I'm also a junior. And this is our oobleck station.
We're making oobleck today. It's just 2 parts cornstarch for 1 part water. And we just added some food coloring to the water to give it some color. And here we're making oobleck dance.
What's special about the oobleck is it acts like a liquid and it's a solid too. It's like a liquid when you move it slowly, but when it's a solid, when it's moving fast, it feels like a solid. The molecules of the cornstarch stick together and act like a solid. In these speakers, you can see that when he pours it in, it's getting moved fast, so it acts like a solid. But usually it's like a liquid. It drips down like a liquid. Some of the other properties are when it feels like a solid if you move it fast. So I can pull my hand out slowly, but if I move it fast, it comes with me. And if I take some in my hand and I squish it out, it's like a solid, but as soon as I let go, it all drips out. Well, it's a non-Newtonian fluid. It's a dilatant fluid, which means that the shear rate, which means how fast it moves, can affect its viscosity. So it's liquid when you move it slowly, and it's a solid when you move it fast. That's a shear stress is the force. It's also like quicksand. If you ever get stuck in quicksand, don't move fast because you'll get sucked in. If I'm a person in it, then I get stuck because I can't move. But if you walk slowly, you can move easily through it.
I am Tessa, and I am a senior here at Nashua North, and we have UV beads. So they're beads that react to ultraviolet light. So if these beads start clear, and within like 30 seconds, the beads will become purple and pink. Tip the bucket, so you can see. So we think that the ones are staying cleared will turn yellow in the real sunlight outside. And that's pretty much it. The beads have a pigment that reacts to UV light.
Just like your skin.
And the kids are making bracelets. And we have a bucket of beads that don't react to light and a bucket of beads that do. That way you can see the difference between the beads when you go outside.
This tells you when you need to put sunscreen on, so that if the sun's coming out and that turns purple, you gotta put sunscreen on.
My name is Joe Derrick, and I'm with the New Hampshire Astronomical Society. I'm here with my 12.5-inch reflector on a German equatorial mount, and I'm represented the New Hampshire Astronomical Society, and I'm here to show an interest in astronomy to the young people that are here. We're a group that meets in Concord, New Hampshire, and at Goffstown at the St. Asm's College. And we're excited to be here. If there's any interest, look up New Hampshire Astronomical Society online, and we'll be glad to talk to you about skywatches and possibly becoming a member.
Hi, my name is Valentina, and we're making slime, and it's like a kind of polymer. And what we do is we grab 50-50, which is percent of like glue and water mixed together, and then we have borax solution here, which is 1 teaspoon of borax per 1 cup of water, and then we mix it, and then it kind of just like, what's it called, does what they're doing, which is shaking it, and it makes some gooey stuff, and some water will be left over, so they'll literally open the bag and then grab it with their hands and just mix it with their hands until it looks like this, which is the actual slime. And that's what we're making, slime.
Okay, hi, I'm Basma and I'm in 11th grade. And this stand is for paper airplanes where kids come here, learn a little bit about airplanes, and we teach them to make their own paper airplanes. And they get to race them along this whole track right here. And they get to see the distance it flies.